Hey y'all, welcome to Sweet Tea and Butterflies. Today we're making a haunted house and a chalkboard, sunflower chalkboard sign. Here I'm taking and starting with one side of the haunted house. I've taken two of those and put them together um, so that I can put candles and stuff and have some dimension in there. This was we did this video. We had done a basically a Facebook Live pajama party thing, so we were still in our PJs crafting. But hey, that's the beauty of working for yourself. You can craft in your you can work in your PJs. So that's what we did. And here I am getting ready to paint the other side that's going to go on there. This was all done during one of our crafting weekends. We took several weekends and just rented a condo just so that we could craft by ourselves. No interruptions, no pets, no husbands, you, you know, any of the distractions that we can come across sometimes in our day-to-day lives. Plus, normally we have another cabin out here where I live that we craft in. That's our crafting space most of the time. But my son and daughter-in-law ended up moving in there for a short period. So we just we used up some of Dee Dee's points and did a crafting weekend. We were out at the Wyndham Resorts in Crossville. As you can see, I must have said something that either insulted her or aggravated her. Just as friends do, we pick on each other, and we generally have a really fun time when we get together and craft. Sometimes we have frustrating moments. We work it out and get back down to it. And here I am taking the Jenga blocks and measuring them out to the back bottom of the haunted house blank, and I'll take in, and originally I did two sets of three and put them together so that it was too wide. I used the Gorilla Glue because I prefer, the Gorilla Wood Glue. I prefer that because it gives them more permanent hold. And here I am just taking and gluing them together. And with this one, I'm making the little shelves in between up higher to set little tea light, the battery operated tea lights on. And I think this is the point, yep, where I realized that too wide is not going to cut it. That I need each of those pieces to be 3 wide. So I turned around and first I was trying to figure out exactly the placement that I was going to use. I turned around and added to my to the bottom stand there. Another set of 3. We had spent this, every weekend that we got together crafting and whatnot, we were usually rocking out to 80s music while we were crafting. So there may be times when you see us each kind of get in a groove and dance a little bit. So here I am making one of the little shelves that's going to go up higher for the candle. Actually, I'm making all of them. I think I did the base, and then I did 3 shelves. I say shelves, but well, yeah, they basically are shelves. I really like being able to work with these tumbling tower blocks. There's so many opportunities and ideas and things that you can do with these. This right here is just a simple, making a couple of little areas to put candles on. So it's a pretty simple concept. But I've gotten kind of really crafty with them, and I've seen other crafters get really crafty with them and more intricate and make some really outstanding designs. And there I am testing the candle. Alright. So now I've flipped it over to the other side, because I did paint both sides of each blank. And I got painting, and realized that the wood glue doesn't stick as well. It doesn't have the hold and the bond that you get when you use wood glue on a plain wood surface to plain wood surface. So when I did the inside, when I painted the insides of these, I made sure to leave space that wasn't painted to be able to add the base and the shelves too. And here you'll see me trying to figure out placement, and I'm just kind of tracing around it so I know where I need to leave the natural wood, so that I can get my shelves glued on there properly. Here you can see me painting around those spots that I had outlined. I think one of the longest processes, or the most time-consuming process when creating stuff, is the painting. When you're working with stuff that you need to paint, it takes quite a while, but I find it very therapeutic. Especially takes a while when you're having to do more than one coat. You got to either wait for it to dry, or like we do, we use our heat gun to give it a quicker dry time there, because I get impatient. I don't want to sit there and wait that long. So this at this particular point, I'm not sure what Dee Dee was off doing, but she wasn't crafting at that time. So I've just got me in this in these couple of clips starting with this haunted house. She turned around and she actually made a couple of projects during this video while I was doing mine. That gives you any indication of how long the haunted house thing took to do. Normally I know that these videos with both of us in it crafting different projects can be a little harder to kind of keep an eye on what each person's doing. Here I'm making a smaller, I made two smaller ones to go along with the big one. But we were doing a crafting weekend, and so I wanted to try to film everything that we were doing, and unfortunately it makes it a little bit harder to kind of watch each project as we do it, but you get to see kind of how we work together, and how we get creative and help each other out, give each other suggestions. We don't always agree with the suggestion that's given, but I have found that usually I'll disagree with the suggestion she gives, or vice versa, and in the end we end up implementing it because it was right. We just weren't picturing it at the time. She's got a couple of the little pumpkin mugs there that she had done on another video. She had done one of her little, or a couple of her little things, with the whipped topping and stuff. Right there she's got the chalkboard sign. One side's got a chalkboard on it, the other side's just a plain wood. And she took some sunflower fabric and put it on the wood side and decorated it all up with adding embellishments and whatnot on there. Here I am touching up the paint, I think, or doing the second coat of it, I believe, on the front sides. So here Dee Dee decided that she wanted to stain that frame on there. So she taped it off and used some Waverly antique wax mixed with water to create a faux stain. Here I am taking and adding a color change opalescent folk art paint to this, so that it kind of had a really kind of a pretty purplish shimmer to it. So Dee Dee had taken a short break while she was waiting for that stain and whatnot to dry, while I finished up with this opalescent paint. And I think I only did the opalescent on the front side of the haunted house rather than both of the cutouts. As you that color changes once it dries. You don't see the purplish shade that's on there while it's wet. But then when you get in the light and shift it, you can see the color change on there. I'm doing the same with the small haunted house. I just think that shimmer gives it a kind of a spookier, creepier look. So Dee Dee's taking the tape off now that the paint has dried. She didn't want to get any of it on the chalkboard. We always love having to sit there and fight with the tape to get it off of there. Tape can be our best friend and sometimes our worst enemy. Pardon me. See, she had done 2 of those signs. 2 different ones. So she had them both. She had set them up and multitasked the staining of the frame. So here I am assembling all of the big haunted house together. Used a little bit of wood glue and some hot glue for that instant hold. You see I put that right in there on that raw wood. Well, I knew that it would adhere and make a permanent bond. Did the same for the shelves. And I guess I probably could have painted these before I put them on. I'm not quite sure why I didn't, because it would have been easier. But hey, such is life, live and learn, right? So now that I have the shelves on there, or the base and the shelves on there, I'm going through and painting the areas that need to be painted, and I'm leaving the tops of those with raw wood, minus the little bit of paint that I got messy with, so that when I put the other piece on top, I've got that wood to wood hold with the wood glue. And like I said, I'm not sure why I didn't paint these before I put them on there. Would have been easier. But hey, I've never been known to do things the easy way. Dee Dee decided that she needed to touch up her little faux pumpkin pie that she had made in a previous video. I thought those turned out really cute with the dollop of whipped cream, some nutmeg, and that little pumpkin sitting on top of it. They really are adorable. I think she made 2 of them. Now Dee Dee's working on a little light a luminary. I think she had she wasn't quite inspired or had pulled together her idea for the chalkboard signs yet, so she was kind of squirreling and working on some other stuff in between until the idea just kind of solidified in her mind. We do that sometimes. We'll be like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to use this, and then we sit down to do it and the concept just isn't quite there yet, so we have to kind of sit on it for a little while. What she had done with that blessed, she had turned her, she painted the back side of it, I believe, kind of stained it more so. She mixed some of the Waverly pumpkin with some water to create more of a watered down, where it has a more stained look on the back of it, and she decoupaged a print on the front, and I believe she used that burn off method for that, to take off the excess of the napkin the print that she was putting on it. Here I am lining up my house to glue it together. And again, wood glue, and then I did a couple of dots of hot glue for the instant hold, just to hold it together until the wood glue dried. Once I got it where I wanted it, I set one of our bins on top of it to kind of keep it together, because you can see it kept lifting up in that one spot. I don't know if the wood was just slightly warped or what, so I just stuck our paint bin on top of it until it set. Now I see Dee Dee finally got back to her sign. There she is, putting the sunflower fabric on it. And I'm getting ready to embellish this haunted house. We got some of that Halloween mesh with the cobwebs and stuff on it and glitter. And I took and was putting little pieces of that in the windows with the webs showing as an added little accent there. Not sure what I was doing there. Oh, I had already cut a piece and put it in there and was just gluing it down. Using those finger protectors those are really helpful when you're doing stuff like this, because that hot glue is really hot. I would say that, anybody who crafts with hot glue guns, any of us probably are missing a few fingerprints or until they came out with these. I can tell you I've burned my fingers plenty of times, and it does not feel good at all. Let's see, Dee Dee's pulling out some little sunflowers and a wood cutout. She's staining it with that same stain that she used on the frame. I think that one says Farm Fresh. You can see here I'm trimming up one of those little webby pieces I put in there. I'm getting ready to glue it down, and with these, they're so thin that I just put a little bit of hot glue on the top side of it and use my finger with the protector on it to kind of hold it down until it's set. trying to get it nice and taut so that it wasn't too loose or wrinkly there. I am trying to, I had to cut it up in different sections because I was looking for specific angles for the webs and stuff to put in the windows. Here it is with the little webs in the windows, shimmery on there. Now I'm going through and looking for different little embellishments, and Dee Dee's giving me a suggestion there. A little pack of little ghosts that I'm getting out. I'm putting in a couple of spots on there. As you can see, I'm fighting a little baggie that they're in. Decided to put one of the little ghosties in the by the doorway there, or kind of partially in the doorway, as you can see here. They're really cute little ghosts too. Here I am showing you where I put the little ghosties. I also put a little bat up at the top, and I'm working on a spider. Took some of those plastic spider rings and just cut the ring portion off and glued it on there. I'm taking and dry brushing, getting ready to dry brush a little bit of white on that black bat and that black spider. One of the hardest things when crafting for Halloween stuff is there's a lot of black. So you end up sometimes with black on black, and I just didn't feel like they stood out quite enough, so just kind of touched them up, did a little dry brushing to make them pop, with a little bit of white on there. Showing Dee Dee, asking her opinion. There it is with the little tea lights inside. See the little ghosts in the windows, the shimmer of the spider webs. I don't think I got a view of the very top of it, but I do have a full picture on the website. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.